So we're on.
Hold on, double check real quick. Yeah, we're on. We're live. Oh, we're hot at least.
Test.
It's a 20-second delay.
Test, test, test. Test, test, test. You doing dining room? So, test.
Look, sweetie, you're on.
Test. And if you can do it by the car.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
It does not.
Booyah.
Live at Walk-Ons, WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network, St. Paul's Football Coaches Show. I want to thank everybody that's watching. We got people trickling into Walk-Ons as we speak. So got a few of the seniors just rolled in. We got different tables. I see Preston Hickey walking in right now. Got Coach Sears, Coach Nunez in here. Sears the third. I know I saw Stant out there. Here. Coach Stant's trying to get over here. I see him on that microphone.
He would love to get you. You need to get him on a headset just once.
So, he's fired up, you know. He gets all fired up about it.
Oh, baseball. He's quick to come up there and get on. But Walk-Ons Coaches Show. I want to thank our two Coaches Show sponsors. Walk-Ons official touchdown sponsor of the Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Also In and Out Urgent Care, 4 locations: Madisonville, Covington, Mandeville, Uptown, and Metairie. So
you got those memorized now.
I do. It only took me a year. So I want to thank those guys. Official scoreboard sponsor during the games. Playing Covington this week, District 6-5A matchup. Covington 3-2 on the season. District, they are 0-2. Is that right?
No, they're 1-1.
1-1. So
they lost to Ponchatoula, and I believe they beat Fontainebleau.
Yep, you're right. They did. They beat Fontainebleau last Thursday night. At Strawberry Stadium. Is that right?
Pretty good showing over there. Yep. I think it was 35-0.
Yeah, saw the stats, saw the highlights. I know Brandon Coakley, sophomore quarterback at Covington, kind of lit things up. So St. Paul's gets the win there, 3-2 on the season. I know they lost to Dutchtown and Ponchatoula. Yeah. Two tough teams, obviously. You know, you got a big 5A school. I was talking to a dad at Dutchtown the other day. I did not realize this. They have like over 3,000 students there. So if they were in Florida or Texas somewhere, they'd be a 6A school.
Right.
So, you know.
And they play the ball like
absolutely. So I know Covington ran into a buzzsaw over there. Also lost to those guys in the playoffs for baseball. So Dutchtown usually has some good teams across the board.
It's kind of, very similar to us coming back straight from Hurricane Ida and facing a buzzsaw of our own. And Zachary, that was kind of the exact same worst-case scenario possible. You can, you're coming back with very little practice, very little cohesion, and you're facing a team that really did not miss a day of school nor practice, and you're walking into their home stadium and just kind of hoping for the best.
With an overwhelming experience in that home stadium. I mean,
for us and them.
Yeah, so. It was.
I was impressed.
Yeah, they had a good setup there with the lights and the scoreboard and
it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was nice. So St. Paul's 3-1 on the season. Lost to Zachary in week 1. Come back, beat Catholic New Iberia week 2. Roll over Slidell with a good comeback victory week 3, and then roll over Hammond at Hammond, Tornado Alley last week. It wasn't even a contest there. And overall, I don't remember the exact number, but between freshman, JV, and varsity, 3 shutouts against Hammond.
Yep.
I think the total was like 96-0 over 3 games. And so far, right now, shutout over Covington, freshman and JV.
I was going to say, I'd like to keep that on
trend
tomorrow night.
Please. I mean, 35-0 for the freshman Wolves last night, and dominating performance with Brendan Keim throwing a couple touchdowns again.
Yep.
Benaldi running all over the place as well. And then JV comes in and expecting, once again, kind of start exact same way.
Yep.
You had a slow, methodical drive, and before you know it, it's 28-0, 35-0, then ends up being 45-0.
Yeah, we got what 2 turnovers on the defense. Our defense was strong. It was 3 and out.
Grant Voiles making a fumble recovery.
Yep, saw that.
Had the interception. I mean, it was all night.
He also dodged a right hook. So Grant Voiles with the fumble recovery, and he dodged a right hook. So
I told his dad, Richard, I've never been so proud of him before in my life.
Sign that kid up for boxing. So. So, big wins, JV 9th grade over Covington. Varsity faces off at home against Covington tomorrow night at Hunter Stadium, playing for the Brown Jug. So that, big rivalry there.
2 years.
2 years. I heard Kier last night.
It's been away from home for 2 years. It's time to come home. It's time to bring that thing back home.
I think we're going to bring it home. So talking to Troy Coakley today, big Covington fan. Son's the quarterback over there, sophomore quarterback at Covington. He's excited about tomorrow night, and I asked him what we were doing after the game, and Troy's as straightforward as you're going to be. He said, "Well, I'll see you if we win, and if we don't, I won't."
This is a realist.
So, like I told him, I said, well, I guess I'll see you next weekend, buddy. So, Brown Jug coming back over to Janky Street. And
no doubt.
So, hopefully we can continue the shutout streak. 5 games in a row between freshman, JV, and varsity so far. Tomorrow night, the defense, has been playing great all year.
That they have.
It's. I expect to see it.
Before we move on too far, the JV and the ninth grade hadn't even scored on.
Look, excited about the young Wolves coming up in the program. We talked about, is it Brennan Kime at quarterback for ninth grade? Excited to see what he ends up doing, as a quarterback at St. Paul's. Benaldi at running back.
Wilson
Ravine at tight end. The ninth grade is stacked, and then even if you go down to the 8th grade, they have some great athletes down there. Christian and Brady Boyer, Ben Johnson, Sammy Vitale, some of those kids. So excited to see the younger Wolves coming up and what is in store for the future. But that's later. Let's talk about now. Like we said earlier, 2-0 in district, beating Hammond and beating Slidell. As far as district standings, Chip.
Slidell was a big beat for that's a huge deal. I mean, Slidell was not a pushover.
No, Slidell came from behind last week and beat Mandeville.
And
a lot was expected of Mandeville. So right now, we're looking at Ponchatoula, who's undefeated on the season, sitting at 3-0 and 2-0 in district. So that's the only other undefeated team in the district-wise with St. Paul's. So you have Ponchatoula, St. Paul's, and Covington sitting directly behind St. Paul's. So it's a very important game, with Covington having one loss in district.
Not only for the Brown Jug, but for district too.
District standings, exactly. Yeah. So, really, it looks like the winner of this game is going to set up a showdown against Ponchatoula for us or for Covington. Covington, already played Ponchatoula, but it's going to set up a showdown between, if St. Paul's does what we believe they can do, St. Paul's and Ponchatoula in a couple weeks. And you're looking at Hammond has a 1-1 record directly behind Covington, then Slidell with a big win, big come from behind. Because we were getting updates last week at the game in Hammond, and it was 21-7, I think, Mandeville, late in the third quarter at half, and Mandeville's just run away with it. And then I get home at 11 o'clock at night, and Slidell made a huge comeback, and they had won.
Yep.
So,
Mandeville's 1-3 on the season this year, which is shocking. They must have had a ton of seniors last year.
You see one of them kicking, and he played tight end for Mandeville last year. And,
that's true.
Cade Costin. Yeah, they had a lot of athletes last year, and they came ready to play last year.
What's his name? Cousin was at Country Day as a quarterback.
Oh, Ibieta?
Ibieta. Was he a senior last year?
He was a senior last year. I believe he's at Tulane now.
Yep, you're right. He is at Tulane. So
so they still have the.
They playing tonight?
No. I think Ibieta, Landon Ibieta. No, the cousin from Country Day is at Tulane. The
quarterback from Country Day.
Landon Ibieta is at Mandeville. He is a commit to University of Miami. He is still at.
Yeah, he's a senior this year. So
yes.
So if you're just tuning in, Walk-On's Coaches Show, live at Walk-Ons. Thank you, our 2 sponsors. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back, talk more about the Wolves. Match up against Covington tomorrow night. We'll have Coach Sears coming on in a minute. Also Coach Nunez, defensive coordinator. Coach Sears, Little Sears III, Kenny, coming on as offensive coordinator. We'll hear from some of the players, some of the captains, and learn a little bit more about the Wolves and their quest to bring back home the Brown Jug tomorrow night. Live at Hunter Stadium. So you're watching WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network, Walk-On's Coaches Show, and we'll be right back after a commercial break.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coke Hill Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In and out urgent care. Serving our community with rapid COVID testing, flu shots, DOT CDL physicals, treatment for allergies, rashes, cuts, cough, and cold, and state-of-the-art on-site x-ray. Visit any of our 4 locations 7 days a week or bring the mobile care van to your business and test up to 300 people daily. Schedule your appointment online at inandouturgentcare.com. In and Out Urgent Care and Occupational Medicine. Feel better, faster.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we
In and Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In and Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In and Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
And we're back live, WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network Coaches Show live at Walk-Ons. Coach Sears, Mike Arnold, Barry Strickland, Chip South. Coach, we were talking about the season so far. Obviously 3-1 on the season, 2-0 in District 6-5A. Talking about the matchup last week at Hammond. We've also been talking about the younger Wolves in the program coming up in the 8th and 9th grade, and the JV and freshmen having I think all shutouts this year so far for both of them. And
so far they've played really well and really have gotten better every game.
Yep. So exciting to watch those guys. We were talking about, a complete shutout with Hammond. I don't know what the total offensive number was, but I think it was like 96-0 score-wise across all 3 games.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was a lot.
One of the kids reminded me.
Yeah.
Almost triple digits.
So almost 100, I know that. And so far, got the shutout freshman and JV this week so far also against Covington, so trying to ride that on into Friday night for the Brown Jug. And but tell us about some of those younger Wolves, excited to see those guys come up. We were talking about Brendan Keim as quarterback of the freshman team. I know they have the big tight end, Ravine. You also have the running back, Benaldi. A lot of talent there, especially in sophomore class, junior class. So just tell us a little bit about some of those kids and what you're looking forward to over the next few years.
Yeah, really, we noticed last year, 8th grade, despite COVID and the games that they played, that they really played well. And basically, 8th grade, we played Catholic League schedule. They play a really tough schedule. And those guys fared well. One thing that we noticed early on, having a normal spring and summer with them, going into the fall, is that they were a really tight-knit group and that they all got along with each other. For us, chemistry is everything. And, that group works hard. They work hard in the weight room. They have the buy-in. I think most of them trust what we're doing and trust the process. Yep. The foundation of that is important, but at the same time, we do have some really good athletes on that level. Yep. You talked about Brendan. Brendan shows tremendous poise out there. And for a young guy to show that kind of poise in the pocket and move around and keep his eyes down the field.
He's smart back there. He
makes
good
really
decisions.
Smart. It's just a good indicator of what could be for him in the future.
Yep. And
Coach, you kind of talked about buy-in. What do y'all do to get these kids just to really buy in on the systems and buy in on in every aspect of the off season? So what do y'all put in place for that?
Well, a lot of freshman programs that we play, they start in August, kind of like we do with our 8th grade, because we don't start until they really start school. We start a week for school, but for us, 9th grade, they'll start in spring football with us. They'll go through the summer. We take the entire class, so they're doing the same workout and everything that we're doing. So the practices during the summer, the past skeleton sessions, We take them to camp with us. So they experience everything that the varsity players are experiencing. So they kind of get a head start. A lot of other programs have a separate staff on ninth grade. Our varsity staff coaches those guys. And,
that is a good thing to see. And my dad even commented on that, surprised that all your coaching staff is out there for all those games because, he asked, do the varsity guys see what these guys are doing at JV and freshman? I said, yeah. And he goes, you sure? I said, well, they're coaching them, so they got to see it. You are out there.
So, that's a big plus for us. We're involved in freshman JV games. The only separate staff we have is eighth grade. It's just not humanly possible to cover it all. But,
can't be everywhere.
But my staff does a fantastic job with those guys, and those guys get a lot of individual attention during practice, and we work on their skills, and it's been showing on the field.
And we bring that up because, that's a good transition to over to the varsity level. We're talking about the young Wolves coming up. You obviously have 23 seniors, a lot of starters that we're going to have to replace next year, and having that good foundation, whether it's junior, sophomore, or freshman moving up. You have a good basket to pick from to fill a lot of big holes, offensively and defensively for the Wolves next year. So.
And we'll have some holes to fill, but, we're still playing this year. So
I know, and that's the transition from the younger guys to next year. So, varsity team 3-1 on the season. I know that the Brown Jug, it's been, I think we've lost it last 2 years. Is that right?
Last 2 years. Yeah.
So important game, crosstown rivalry.
I'm still kind of debating last year's game after seeing some of the questionable calls with the back judge calling offsides, the two fumbles that were.
We'll talk about that Wednesday night with Kier, and I guess with Grant too. We talked about it, but it was rough.
That was a tough one to swallow last year.
It was a tough one. Yeah.
So tell us about that atmosphere you expect to see tomorrow night. I know everybody's, it's the buzz around town. So
before you start there, remember the last time that we played in Hunter Stadium against Covington, we had the lightning strike that sent us back. We didn't start the game again until 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
we had. It was over past midnight. And
that's right. Yep.
Hopefully this is going to be a better situation than that time.
Hopefully we have great weather, and, it'll be a great night on multiple levels. Playing for the Brown Jug and playing Covington's always special between both schools. Actually, it's probably, one of the best, we could we're everybody's rival.
Yeah.
So
we get that we get that feeling
everywhere we go.
But most of these guys have played rec ball. They've known each other growing up in Covington with each other. So it's it's a tough physical game, but it's very respectful. And certainly we have a lot of respect for Coach Salter and his staff and what he does.
Yeah.
So it'll be a hard-fought game as usual because, everybody brings their A game against us, especially Covington. And, we prepared well all week, and we feel good about, what we've put in this week in order to get ourselves ready for this game. It's also a special night because we're also retiring Michael Doherty's number.
I was about to ask you about that.
So,
nice little article
it'll be a big night.
On NOAA.com about Michael Doherty, kind of the events we have planned for tomorrow, what have you. So, because we're all somewhat new to St. Paul's. I was aware of it, living in Mandeville at the time. I had a friend, he had some sons on the football team at the time. So, can you kind of expound on that?
Sure. Michael, was one of those guys. Our program's about developing the kids. As I told you earlier, we alluded to freshman JV, and early on, you could see that, he had determination. As he was younger, he worked hard in the weight room and worked his way out onto the field to eventually start in his junior year. So it's always fun as a coach to see that development. Probably we didn't see it that early, but, he just did the program and did it hard and, never did give up, never did quit, always believed in the process. We talked to our guys always about trusting the process. And obviously his injury changed his life forever. But at the same time, it's how he responded to it is definitely an inspiration to all of us. He's about to graduate in sports administration.
Great.
And, he works in LSU's football department right now with recruiting and studying film and so forth. And he's thinking about going to law school.
Oh, awesome.
Wow. So certainly, God gives you only what you can handle. And certainly he's exceeded expectations, and just has a great outlook on life, and that's an inspiration to us all. And it's been 5 years since the injury, so we felt it was an appropriate time to honor him and retire his number, and always keep that thought of him of what he's done.
Absolutely.
Not only when he was a player here, but what he's done and how he's responded to the adversity that he's faced in his life, and certainly an example for all of us.
That's
Absolutely.
really impressive. I mean, it kind of instills on what you were talking about a little while ago with building character in your program. Someone to go through that and then to excel in the collegiate side on academics and work in sports admin and now looking at law school. That's pretty impressive, just to say the least.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of determination.
Oh, absolutely.
He does.
So is this going to be the first number retired in St. Paul's history?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was curious about. I couldn't.
Some of our history is very fuzzy in the past, and it took me a number of years to collect the stats and where we are and so forth. Luckily, a lot of the information that I've gathered has been through Coach Nunez's years and my years, because we were both good record keepers of what we had. But prior to that, but during our eras, that's the first number.
How far back do you have records on St. Paul's football?
I've gone back to every yearbook since the beginning, and like I said, some of them weren't very clear or didn't give too much information. I don't know how successful they were back then. But
do you know when football started? I know in the baseball locker room they have some pictures and stuff from like 1912 or something super early, like right after the school was founded, basically.
I want to say football started. We had a T-shirt made back when it was Dixon Academy. I want to say it was like 1912.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So
it became St. Paul's in 1918.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So over 100 years of football being played there. That's awesome. So exciting night tomorrow night. Retiring jersey number 38. Right. It is 38. 36. I'm sorry. 36. Number 36. Fighting for the brown jug again tomorrow night. I expect a huge crowd. There's a lot of people there for the freshman JV game that I could see on TV. I was in Houston watching it, so had a big turnout there. I know tailgating's going to start early, so going to be an electric crowd. So
should be a nice crowd.
So what are you looking for offensively, defensively to see from Covington? I know they have a younger team. What's kind of the without getting into what your true game plan is, but what are you looking for?
Don't give away too much.
Offensively they're explosive. They're two backs, number 5, number 6, or outstanding players. They're hard to bring down. They've done a good job in their passing game. So as well as our defense has played, and it just seems like we keep getting better every week. We're going to need another one of those performances this week against Covington.
Absolutely.
In order to be in there with them. But, they can score at will with their skilled players. Coach Burt, who was with us, does a great job with their offense. He's running their offense now. So we're expecting a tough game from them, and we need our defense to rise to the challenge as it has the last few weeks. Offensively, I don't think there's no secrets in our script. We're going to try to run the football, and that's what we've done successfully. And really, last week was important because we really get that running game in gear.
Last week at Hammond, I think if I remember the stats right, there were 60 plays, 50 of them were running plays. But y'all got to a point where we were dominating the right side. I mean, Thieler, No Block, whoever wanted to get around that right edge, wearing those guys out at Hammond.
We did a good job. We were hitting on all cylinders, and we were making the right blocks and tagging the right people, and we did a great job in terms of finding the holes, and we've done a good job of driving the field, but we didn't have a lot of opportunities to put it in or somewhere where we stalled with a pre-snap penalty. We didn't have a lot of pre-snap penalties in the game.
We didn't make note of that during the game.
So just like defense, we're getting a little bit better on offense. Offense is behind the defense at this point, so. Again, we tell our guys, trust the process. We just keep working to get better every week, and hopefully we get a little bit more balance as we go through this and just keep getting better. And if we keep playing the defense that we're playing, we could be a hard out for people.
Absolutely.
You're a real goal-oriented team. Did you get to see a lot of your goals reached on the offensive side of the ball last week?
Yeah, actually, when we give our team stickers out, I want to say we reached 5 of our 7 goals. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
The defenses reach all 7 goals.
Yeah.
That's 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty good.
They've played lights out.
They're on fire. And defensively, and we kind of commented about it in the Hammond game, I don't think anybody's threw the ball towards Justin Washington's side since Zachary week 1, and then he got 2 opportunities. I think they only targeted his side 2 or 3 times. He comes up with 2 interceptions, one of them a pick 6. So, and they had an article I saw about him on some publication through Twitter today, talking about his transition over from moving from Texas over here and settling down, and how he's a great fit on the defense for the Wolves. So.
He's sometimes I think he gets bored over there because nobody throws to that side a bunch. But
I bet he does.
So that's why we put him on offense for some snaps. So, but he's a phenomenal player, and certainly he's a lockdown guy. And last week showed it. If you throw to his side,
you're gonna regret it.
Yeah.
Yep. So exciting game tomorrow night. Can't wait for that. So, anything else you want to talk about, Coach, or anything in particular?
First off, I want to thank you guys for the job that you do and for streaming and, everything that I hear from our fans, our parents and so forth is just a first-class operation in which I put together. I want to thank Walk-Ons, our sponsors, all of our sponsors, and all our parents and fans who not only are participating tonight but help us throughout the season. Certainly we couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, I do have to make one comment on that. I mean, I've been around a lot of football programs throughout my life, and this is the one time where I've seen parents involved at every level, not just the fundraising, but you name it. I mean, you used to have little groups get together, paint the field back in the day when you still had grass, but every level you see parents that and it's not the same parents, it's everyone coming through. So, I mean, I know you talk about cohesion on the football team, but cohesion throughout the entire community surrounded by the football team is unreal here, and that's a great culture to build.
Yep.
No doubt.
And we're looking out for, you said yes to this, you allowed all this to take place, and we had the opportunity, but this provides, like Mike was out of town last night, and he was able to watch his son play.
That's
on high definition.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where, grandparents, there's so many levels of the families that are being touched by this, and how so we appreciate you saying yes and letting us get this done. But it's something that's really
and I mean, look, where when I sat down with you and Brother Ray for the first time, and I told you what the plan was, it morphed and it. I didn't even. We got to a place I didn't know was possible very quickly. Right. And I'll say this: we volunteers. This is volunteer. Some people think that Barry does this for a living or Chip does this for a living. This is all.
Do it for a living?
Yeah.
No. And
they thought this was our company.
They thought we did this as
a company that did this. I was like, no,
this is volunteer. So please, guys, parents out there, if you want to help out, we can never have too many people. And I laugh because talking to you and Brother Ray that first time, I said, I just need myself, maybe one other guy. And my dad kept telling me, he says, you need at least 5 people. And I was like, I think I can get it done with me and one guy, maybe Barry. And then he's like, ain't no way. So we need 10 people. We need 12 people. We need 20 people. So help out.
Job.
We want to keep it going, obviously, because this is – there's no other school. Some colleges don't even have this. So, we want the Wolfpack Broadcast Network to grow. We appreciate you guys letting us do it. It offers – I don't like missing any game ever. And so the fact that, you can watch us anywhere around the globe is awesome live. So, Coach Sears, thank you. Exciting team. 3-1 on the season, 2-0 in district, playing for the Brown Jug tomorrow night. So do they bring the jug over with them when they play, or how's that work? Because we want to try to get in the pregame if we can get some shots of it or something.
We usually, the next week at school,
it just shows
the last few times the ADs have brought it over. So.
We can set up a live transition of the jug without letting them know. When they pull up, have the cameras rolling and passing of the jug.
Actually, I think there's a new jug this year. I think the old one was retired and put in H.J. Smith's museum.
Okay.
So we have a new jug.
How long do you know the overall record, or how long we've been playing for the jug?
Covington's got us for a while. The series was suspended in the mid to late 70s, and we resumed it in the early 2000s.
Okay.
So that, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but they probably got us by 12, 15 games. Okay. So.
So we got some ground to make up.
Yes, we do.
And of course, obviously, they've had such a great program for a long time, and Coach Jack Salter did a phenomenal job with that program for a number of years.
Yep. So thank you, Coach. Appreciate everything you guys are doing. Keep up the hard work. Got some food brought in by walk-ons. Barry, we got cheese sticks. Is that right? Looks like.
I get a good picture of Coach
Those are
Sears.
cheese. Those
Well,
are cheese
so
logs.
after I name them all, I was going to let Coach Sears taste each one and give us a rating on each one. So one bite,
I'll do that at
everybody
the
knows
table.
the rules.
Yeah.
log, you got cheese logs, little shrimp and grits.
Yeah. So let's go to commercial break, Chip. I know Coach Sears is ready to go eat, so we'll let him go.
Coach Sears,
Thank you.
Yeah,
count
thank
on
you,
you bring
Coach.
home the brown jug.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
And
Appreciate
we'll
you.
be right back.
Appreciate you.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coke Hill Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves!
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coke Hill Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves!
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coke Hill Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves!
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
And we're back live, WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network. St. Paul's Coaches Show live at Walk-Ons. So thank you to our sponsors, Walk-Ons Bistro in Covington. Thank you to the guys over here, Ryan, Haley, all the gang. They brought us some food. So, Coach Mick, we're going to let you taste everything and give us a rating. So, go ahead and start with now. So, we got cheese sticks. Did we figure out, I think shrimp and grits over there, right, Barry?
Yes, it is.
So, and then we got Barry's favorite.
What?
The old hickory burger. And they put an egg on it.
Yeah,
the egg's new. The egg's new.
Is the hickory burger coming with the egg now?
Yeah, I guess it's not a bad thing.
That's a plus.
Yeah, when I saw them, and the egg is new.
Especially over
that's over medium.
That's sunny side up.
That's something. It's runny. The yolk is runny.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. The yolk
sopping, baby.
Yeah, sopping. So, Coach Mick Nunez here, defensive coordinator for the Wolves. Glad to have you back on the Coach's Show. I know you look forward to these.
I do.
And so talking about the defense, we were talking about it with Coach Sears, not just the varsity guys, but the younger guys. You've last 5 games from freshman to varsity been all shutouts on the defensive side of the ball. So, exciting to see some of the younger Wolves come up on the defensive side, and then your varsity with the shutout at Hammond last week. And I know your aggressiveness on the side of the ball. I think you're absolutely looking for the shutout tomorrow night for the Brown Jug, which would make your year, I'm sure.
That'd be cool. We've been playing. I mean, I can't really complain on the defense that we've been playing. We're moving well. I'm lucky we got smart kids. They're aggressive. They know what we want to do. They understand what we're doing. So it's fun. Right now they're playing really well.
So we'll just start, I guess, the defensive line and work backwards. We're going to have Aiden Richards and Preston Hickey up here in a little bit. Tell us about that defensive line, because they are – who else am I missing? Rushing's on that line, is that right?
Richards and Hickey.
Richards, Hickey, Rushing. Every once in a while you transition. Is it
Sanchez,
Satches, Wyatt. They do a phenomenal job. They're moving well. Again, I think a lot of it comes down to understanding what we're trying to do, and they get it.
Yep.
And they do it well. The bookends are.
Oh yeah.
They're pretty good.
I don't think pretty good's that's an understatement.
And rushing in the middle is it. Like right now, the linebackers seem to be able to flow wherever they want to go, and that's because of them. They're doing a phenomenal job up front for us. They're fun to work with.
I think it was the Slidell game with Rushing. He was like, the ends were like just eating it up, and he was just, I mean, they made plays because he was making his play, and he was doing his job, but he just never got, the recognition. And sometimes, I guess, on stats, you don't get to see that. But it was just like he was right there, but someone else got the tackle. But
he eats a lot of blockers. Like
they
can't go second level. Coach Gabe does a great job with them, but rushing in the middle, he literally eats blockers, and it's hard to move on because he's going to be there. For a big guy, he moves well, and that's all. That's our front. They move well for big people.
I can tell you from the rush, like when people rush the ball against us, even when there looks like there's no gain, you stop them at the line. You've moved the line back 3 yards. I mean, every time. If it's out in front of us, I mean, it is amazing to see the ball snap, the tackle's made at where everybody's at, and it's 3 yards behind the original line of scrimmage. So, I mean, your defensive line is moving it. I mean, they're doing a great job there.
I hope they keep doing that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and it's fun to watch
the
them.
trenches.
Yep. So, moving on to your linebackers, I know you got Kier, you got Danny. I've seen Bo Loisel in there a few times, Noah Strickland, T.J. Marchand. I know I'm missing some people.
Gunnar Dosset.
Nathan Vincennes.
Yeah, Nathan. Again, I'm lucky that they get what we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that other places don't have smart guys, but our guys are smart enough to get what we're doing.
Blue Ribbon School.
Blue Ribbon School. Yes, it is. So. And they move well, and they're allowed to move well because of the people in front of them.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of the defense, and I don't want to say their aggressiveness, they like to be physical, which is a plus. They understand fits. So, from the backside, they got to have a cutback lane covered.
Yep.
They get
we got the reads.
We got fills, spills. We have all that, and they understand it, which I wish I could say it was me and I'm a genius, but
Why not?
I'm not going to lie to you.
This is live. You can do it.
They're just good.
So moving on to the secondary, we talk about Washington. You also got Dufour, who I think he had 5 or 6 interceptions last year. He's got 2 on the year, maybe 3 this year so far. Justin Washington, we were talking with Coach Sears. I don't think anybody's targeted him or went at him since Zachary in week 1, maybe once or twice even there with their quarterback. And then Hammond decided they wanted to do it a couple times last week, and they saw what happened. So you got a pick 6 and another interception from him, and just athletically between him, Dufour, and all your defensive backs, it's fun to watch those guys also.
The backside is fun because I have 2 corners that pick one you want to pick on.
Yeah.
And that's not cocky. That's just I think both of them can handle their business. Outside backers, or hammers we call them.
Yeah.
They're plenty physical on the run, and on the pass they cover just fine. Safety, Ethan's out now. I think it was a broken ankle, leg.
Yep.
Unfortunate. But, we got 2 other guys that are stepping in and doing well. They're going to compete for that spot, and I hope they keep pushing each other and keep making us better.
Yep.
The backside really frees up the front side. So
kind of all works.
It gives you an
it
ability.
is. It's a good group. It's a really good group for
So
us.
it's really somewhat of a new defense run this year. It looks like your base defense is more of a 5 defensive back. I don't know if you just
Chip gets technical.
I don't know if you was just assigned different names to different positions now, or if it's really a true nickel going in there.
We debate this in the press box. Chip goes off on all these tangents. I'm a baseball guy, not a football guy, so he's throwing out these zones and stuff. I say he just tells them to go. I said he's just sending them.
Really fast. Have you ever heard of a Delaware wing T offense?
Man, I was going to ask that. I was like,
yes.
yes. Tell us all about
we had this argument for 20 minutes in the stands against Catholic New Iberia. They were running old Delaware wing T plays, and I called it out.
So what's the difference between a let's just say a standard wing and a Delaware wing?
The Delaware wing, my dad ran forever.
Okay.
You see?
And it's a good offense. Everybody has gone to spreading the field out, and hopefully, like education, it'll come back because it's fun football.
Yes, it is.
It's just
look.
It's never
3 yards
negative
of
play.
Yes.
It's always you're gaining yardage somehow, somewhere. You're going forward.
So we'll jump back. If you want to bring up the Delaware wing, we'll jump back to Catholic New
all right.
Iberia.
We're good. I just want to prove a point.
It has to be as a defensive coordinator. It has to be frustrating when Catholic New Iberia they're bunched up. Their quarterback KK Reno, great athlete, big kid, playing both ways. But they're bunched in there, huddled up. They're doing read options from half a step. You can't. How do you even defend that kind of stuff?
They had a good game plan. I like what they did.
Yeah,
I really do like what they did. At times, I was thinking they're blocking it different than they're running it. So I'd look at it on the iPad. I was like,
yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
but it worked.
Yeah.
So everything that they did, they put the ball in their best guy's hand. The 8 clock.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I wasn't disappointed in what we did defensively. We didn't wrap up a couple of times, but
it is what it is.
He was a good ball player.
Yeah, he was.
That kid was good.
An ugly win is a win. That's how I'm going to run with that forever.
Absolutely. And great win against Slidell. Come back and again 2 years in a row. It was almost like a mirror image of the game a year before that, down by a couple scores with a few minutes left, and we end up getting the win. You had that pick 6 at the end to kind of ice it.
That was neat.
Yep. So
you called it.
It was a great game there, and then Hammond. The quarterback Hammond had Daniels. He's an athlete, and we kept him contained. I was surprised they didn't run him a little bit more than they did, but he tried to throw it up and pick on Justin Washington a few times, and it didn't work out. So
I think that was just a lapse in judgment. I'm not sure what that was all about.
I think
nobody else is even.
I do. I think he was just trying to get the ball out there to someone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't throw it Justin if I were a quarterback, but I wasn't a quarterback, so
I wouldn't throw it Dufour either.
Yeah,
and like you said, you can pick on either one of them. It doesn't matter. I mean, so.
And it seems like with Justin that I'm sure he's getting a little bit bored it's because there's nobody's over there.
At times he is bored. I know the Catholic New Iberia game, he was bored.
Yeah.
I'd look over, I'd be like, oh, goodness.
Oh, yeah.
He's bored.
Yeah. Yep. So
it's hard. That comes with the territory.
Yes, it does.
With being good, nobody's going to come your way.
Yeah. So anything else you want to talk about the defense? Anything special?
No, it's neat. I mean, this year is neat for me coaching Kier.
Yep.
Because
future broadcaster.
Yes, he is.
Well, I mean, I was lucky enough to play for my dad. I know how special that was to me.
Yep, I get that.
And actually play for him and then coach with him.
Yep. But
it's been really special getting to play or coach Kier.
Yeah.
And, it's neat because I got out of football for a while. When you do football and baseball, I don't know what it is. I seem closer to the kids all around. Like, this is a cool group.
Well, you're with me.
I agree more.
Yep.
And it's not because we're winning. It's a fun group to be around. They work well together. It really, really is an enjoyable time for me.
Yep.
And I hope it's not just my kid. I really
do.
But it's just
I
it's
I
fun.
think you see the response that your team's giving you, that they know you're having just as much fun as you as they are. I mean, having children on the team or kids on the team, they come home and they're excited.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an exciting thing for them. Practice is exciting.
Yeah.
So.
And we see from Mr. Neil Woodall's pictures, some candid shots of you, and it look like you're having a blast. I know there's one where you're making it rain or whatever you're doing. I don't know.
I was doing. That was a make it rain shot.
How many people text you that picture besides me?
I had several.
So I'm going to throw you under the bus here, Coach. All the years of the St. Paul's Covington matchup, you went to St. Paul's, I think, class of 88. Is that right?
Yep.
And what's your fondest memory of that rivalry for the Brown Jug? And you can tell the best story. You got anything with –
best story is when we were in school, we hung out with the Covington guys.
We
didn't
play.
We
hear it all the time.
And I really that was we hung out. That was my people. Love them to death. I still love them to death. Now that we get to play, it's a bit more special because it's my friends that we hung out with.
Well, you know who the quarterback is.
I do know who the quarterback is.
So
I read a scout report.
I hung out with Nick all the time.
Troy's texting Troy today. I said, you coming over for drinks after the game at my house? He goes, if we win, I'll see you. If we don't, we won't. And I said, well, I guess I'll see you next week. So,
I hope that's how it is.
No
but
pressure.
No, that's my boys.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And that's the same way we feel. Played baseball with a lot of those kids growing up. Me and Barry coached a bunch of them in football. Jamonte, Blackwell, Coakley. Bubba. There's probably 24 kids on that team that we coached at CRD for 4 years, 3 years.
Well, we went to the game last week, and I walked in amongst them, and I got the feeling of hey coach.
Yeah.
And so I don't get that much anymore. But it was nice seeing all those kids that like you ran with them. Our kids ran with these guys. Playing baseball, football,
and we want to beat them into the ground tomorrow night. But we follow them every other day, and we root for them.
As do I. That's the group. Like leaving the game last night. The Hey Mix. I love it because those are the people that.
Oh yeah.
We were buddies. Do I want to win? Yeah. I don't want to listen to it for a year.
So do they.
Yeah. Trust me. Trust me.
We heard it for a year.
I hear it. Look, I can show you some of the Troy Coakley, who is usually typically a 1 or 2 word texter. Somehow last year I had memes coming in of people kicking me in the nuts and all kind of other stuff. I was like, it was till 1 in the morning that Friday I was getting them. So I'm saving them to send back this Friday. So.
His wife showed him how to do the memes.
I know that. Michelle is clearly running that show. So, Coach Mick, thank you. Exciting to watch your defense and.
Thank you guys. Hey, I love what y'all like the show for baseball, football. It's neat to watch.
It's fun. It's fun.
My family, I told y'all last year, gets to watch it. They're in Ohio.
Yep.
And they enjoy it.
Well, that's what it's about. the story is, Coach asking because of pandemic, thinking about streaming the games. Well, I don't like missing anything, and I had ulterior motives. So I was assuming last year with pandemic, nobody was going to be in the stadium. So I told Barry and Chip, I said, I'm finding a way in the stadium because I don't miss anything. and I didn't know if it was working the chains, if it was catching the field goals and bringing them. If you needed a water boy, we were going to be in there, and streaming turned into what it was. So.
Appreciate it. It's neat how y'all do it.
Yep.
Thank y'all for letting us do it.
So thank you, Coach Mick. Grab an egg if you want it, cheese stick or a shrimp and grits over there. So thank you to Walk-Ons. Thank you to In-N-Out Urgent Care, official Coaches Show sponsor for the Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Coach Mick Nunez and his defense going to bring home the brown jug tomorrow night. And so have fun tomorrow night, Coach.
We need a brag.
Have fun. And
I'm going to have fun.
Yep, I know. And so we're going to go commercial break. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
And we'll see you tomorrow night.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-Ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-Ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-Ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
Back.
Hey, welcome back to the Coaches Show here at Walk-Ons for the St. Paul Wolves. We got a couple of seniors up here on our defense, kind of coming behind Coach Nunez and his powerful defense. And guys, first of all, we're always impressed with y'all. We're always impressed with your motivation, your intensity, and your just getting after it. So, so first of all, how do y'all feel about the defense?
I mean, we play fast, from D lineman to secondary. I think we all swarm to the ball. There's not usually one person making the tackle. It's the pack of wolves making the tackle.
Right.
So, yeah, we just all swarm and go to the ball every time.
We kind of talked about this a second ago, Coach Nunez. I mean, how nice is it to have your first level be what they are to free the second level to do what y'all do. Because we noticed, I mean, we talk with rushing, making plays laterally, and, I mean, resetting the line of scrimmage 2.5, 3 yards, especially last week. It was if you would watch our game film from WPBN, you can see as soon as the ball is snapped, their entire offensive line goes back 2.5 yards.
Oh, it's
and it wasn't a drop step. It was they were firing off the ball. We were firing off the ball, but the line was resetting, and the linebackers do not have anyone coming near them to block them. So, I mean, what kind of asset is that for y'all to have in regards to playmaking?
I mean, it's amazing. You can tell whenever the ones are in, the ones D-line and the twos D-line, because the ones really get a good push, and they open up gaps for us, and we just we're reading the open and closed doors. So
it's
and let me just go back and hear your Sam. And your middle. These are
Mike.
two of our linebackers, and so Mike and Sam. Sam is strong side, and so if you don't know football terms, I guess. So, but let me just bring y'all. Y'all are the second level we're talking about, and that first level being our defensive line, and the meat is up there.
Yeah,
they got some good heavy bodies. Right?
Hayden Richards just walked right by. Yes, that is correct.
The whole screen. So Coach Nunez and Coach Sears both said the buy-in. Talking about the team, the buy-in. Tell us, why do you buy in? Why do you buy into the processes that Coach Sears, obviously, both of y'all,
both of us, we kind of have to.
Y'all
we don't have another choice.
Tell us, what do you like about the processes that are put in place?
Well,
one of them is I'll just kind of give you a lead, is just the production from 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade.
Well, I think it's just a program, from the day you set foot in 8th grade, they tell you the same thing as you're leaving as a senior. And I know it's like, it could be rhetorical sometimes. Yeah, that's all. It's repetition. We know it's a brotherhood. You're playing for your brothers. You look left and right. That's your brother. That's our thing, and that's one of the reasons why we picked all in this year, is because we know it's like a team, as a brotherhood. We're all in. Like, this is our year. So
it's great to hear y'all cheer that. Chant that I guess at the beginning of the game, y'all say all in. So, Kier, how about you?
Well, I mean, we know that this is, our last shot to get after it. And, all of us figured we might as well go all in.
All in, So that's a motto that comes up with every senior class, right? That gets through that, right? All right. Well,
really kind of just talking really fast. How much of a new defense is this? We talked to Coach Nunez about this a little while ago. I know y'all, it's really kind of hard to tell from the box. I don't know, especially with the change of terminology in regards to some of y'all's players with the hammers now, what have you. It kind of looks like more of a base 5 DB nickel situation now that y'all have. So, how much of more of a pressure, because usually you go to a base nickel, it's going to put a lot more pressure on you, on the linebackers, especially Sam and Mike. So are y'all starting to feel like, 'cause it looks like, we see Jacob Johnson. He is great at setting an edge. We've seen the safeties fill really well. It's one of those things where it seems like it's kind of really working. You have the perfect match of players this year to run that type of defense.
Yeah, it just fit really well, like schematic-wise. And last year we ran like a 4. We ran the 4-man front mostly last year. But it's just a defense where you have to trust your secondary, kind of, because we blitz a lot.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Well, I think alone, I'll blitz 80% of the time.
Now you say it's kind of funny because we call the freshman JV games, and it's pretty boring to watch. I know Grant Bilson called a little bit of a freshman game, and Kier's on our third person now in the booth for us on JV. But it's funny watching the games because you watch the varsity and you see the complexity with the defense is played, and then you see the base look. And, you'll send someone through the 5 gap, 3 gap, what have you. You're shooting somebody every now and then. But it seems like with varsity, every play, someone's going for – it's a different look every play.
Single play.
Exactly. And it's kind of hard. I just remember my old playing days where you're looking at scouting reports. This is before we had digital scouting reports. But you look at the papers and you see what kind of fronts they give you and where they bring in pressure. But for St. Paul's, it seems like it's coming from all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's so many different combinations y'all have.
Yeah. We're sending from everywhere, and they have to account for everybody.
So, how exciting is that for y'all? Because at any time your number can be called.
Yeah. And
it's one of those things where, all right, my number's being called. It's being called for a reason. It's up to me to make a play. So, I know it's got to be pretty exciting with y'all, especially the seniors. So I know the last 2 years against Covington have been kind of, 2 years ago was, I think Barry touched on early, about an hour and a half, 2 hour delay.
Yeah, I remember that game
crazy.
well, yeah.
I mean, I drove all the way back to Mandeville, home, 30 minutes home, and then sat there, and it took another hour and a half, 2 hours, I think, for the game to even get back underway.
And it finished the next day, right?
Yeah.
It was after midnight, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was rough, that game.
He said last year was kind of a, like Kier and I, we touched on it last night a little bit, about kind of a letdown with some of the calls and what
that
have
was
you.
rough. Yeah,
but I mean, it's kind of this is your last shot, so you can either go out 1-3 or 2-2.
Yeah. We want the brown jug, guys.
Yes.
we want it bad. I've had this game circled for a while. I want it bad.
So I mean, just touching on that, just having this game circled. Okay, you're both from Covington, grew up here. So how long have you known a lot of guys you're going to be facing tomorrow night?
Through my whole football career, I've played with Little League. Those are all my dudes. I know both of the running backs I played with in Little Leagues. Half of the defense, they're texting me trash talking already. They wanted to bet on the game. Like, I know them personally, so I'm ready. It's just one of those games.
I've known them for a long time too, since like flag football days. So.
God, flag. I mean, I'm still getting used to that being on North Shore where flag football is not a thing growing up where we came from.
Yeah. Well, so what kind of banter has been going on between y'all and Covington this week? Is there anybody been touching any buttons, mashing any buttons?
Yeah,
or anything?
I mean, we keep quiet. That's our thing. We don't do a lot of talking.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously do. I mean, I've been getting texts from all the players because I know them. I mean, those are my friends and stuff like that. But they'll text me and stuff, and I won't even answer it. I'll just leave it on red or something because I know there's just no point in it.
Yeah. That's good.
I would normally ask predictions, but I'm not going to do that right now.
The big thing here is that when you and I were growing up, we had to see each other to have words.
Exactly.
Now you can just text it. Yeah, you can just Snapchat it
or tweet it.
Tweet it. Yeah.
Tweet it to somebody. Yeah.
I mean, it's weird because we all had high school rivalries growing up, but like I said, we were never in really close contact. You see people, but it's more the schools were rivals. Now it's the athletes are the rivals because you grew up. I mean, you consider these kids practically brothers, I'm assuming. I mean, I don't know if y'all really had travel football here or not. Like we had, where I grew up, we had travel football teams where we would travel around the country playing. But yet once travel football ended, we would play them in a high school season, going against them all the time. So I guess it's somewhat similar there, but it's not growing up with them, being around them, being on the same team for 6, 7, 8 years, and then all of a sudden you're adversaries. Yeah. So it's a whole different ball game now. So, what are y'all looking for tomorrow night? What are y'all expecting from Covington?
A whole lot of running.
Lot of running?
Yeah, that's obviously their game plan. I mean, they got athletes across the board. So, their 2 running backs are studs. I mean, I'll give it to them.
Yeah.
They're fast, but I think we could play with them. I mean, our front 7 is, I think, one of the best we've seen in a while. So.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot – it's hard to find a front 7. I've been around football for – 30-some-odd years now, and it's pretty hard to find a front 7 that matches up, especially on the high school level, to what y'all brought to the table this year. And kind of what we touched on earlier, with resetting the line of scrimmage, 2.5 yards in the backfield, really fast. I mean, real quick, I know we touched on their skill positions a little bit. How does their O-line look to y'all right now?
I mean, they're big and they can somewhat move, but I feel like we can get a push up front and really get after them.
This kind of question. That's the answer I was looking for. So I kind of enjoy calling the game when I'm watching. I'm like, and I'd hit the replay button. I'm like, watch the line. If I had the ability to draw a yellow screen on a line, I would like. The line of scrimmage starts here, and this is where it ends, like before the handoff's made.
Yeah. And
it's kind of one of those things where you don't see it very often, and it's been happening over and over again.
Yep.
So here's the thing: we've had shutout freshmen, shutout JV. I mean.
We gotta bring it to them.
I'm not talking about pressure.
But when it comes down to it, as long as we have more points than they do, I don't.
All that matters is the win.
So just know that.
Yeah. But it's obviously the goal. That's our goal. Yeah. That's the biggest goal.
Right. Yeah. All right. So going on from here. I know Kier's got a bright future in broadcasting.
Every Wednesday, we're giving him the life skills that he needs.
He can create a little highlight tape of it.
Danny, if you're more than welcome, if you feel up, we
have awesome. I'm ready. I want to. I like this.
We've got 2 extra headsets usually for JV and freshmen, so we would love it. So, moving forward, we wish you the best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Moving forward past this football season and your career and your life moving forward. So anything else y'all want to share before we go to commercial break?
Go Wolves.
Yeah,
All in,
Shout out
baby.
to Miss Abby.
Shout out to Miss Abby, the trainer.
Trainer?
She tapes me every game.
Yeah.
She's good at
She
it.
gave us.
That's
She
good, guys.
gave us tape. We needed tape yesterday.
Really?
We didn't have
See,
it.
she's the best trainer.
But she
Yeah.
gave us tape, so.
Yeah.
She never
the
gets
best
enough
trainer.
credit, so
Yeah.
shout out to her.
All right,
Shout out
somebody
to
I
Miss
worked in
Abby.
sports medicine for years, and I concur with that.
Yep.
That is.
Yep.
That it's nice to get some recognition.
She
for
needs it. And Coach Stipe, too.
Coach
They
Stipe,
all
too.
need the credit.
Just
Our
throwing-
trainers, all
Just
of
throwing
them.
Chris a
yeah.
little late. That's fine.
He gets a lot of credit.
Yeah, he gets his credit.
I
Miss
know
Abby
he does. I know
So
he does.
we
Yeah.
got Kier Nunez, our Sam linebacker, strong side linebacker, and we have Danny Sears that are with us. And you're watching the Walk-Ons Coaches Show for St. Paul Wolves. The Wolves.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this. This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
And we're back, Wolfpack Broadcast Network, WPBN Coaches Show live at Walk-Ons. Finish up our defensive segment of the program. We had Coach Mick Nunez, defensive coordinator, up here earlier. We also had Danny Sears and Kier Nunez, linebackers.
Yes, we did.
So we're moving up to the first line of defense for the Wolves. So we've got Preston Hickey and Aiden Richards, number 91 and number 94, two ends for the Wolves. So you boys look like you're having fun the last few weeks.
Definitely. It's awesome being out there with Aiden, Thomas, and I mean, I think we got one of the top front sevens in Louisiana, definitely.
Yep. So
I know Kier and Danny just kind of touching that right now, how much easier their lives are at the second level because of what y'all doing on the first level. Right now, we made the comment probably 2 or 3 times since this broadcast has started, how, especially last week and the week before, we made notes of, okay, the ball is hiked on the 31. The offensive line was moved back.
Yeah.
The line of scrimmage was moved back to the 33-yard line in a blink of an eye, just from y'all's push.
y'all are pushing the line back 2 to 3 yards every time on a rushing play where we thought you were stopping them for no gain. You're really taking 3 yards from them. You're just moving everybody with it. So.
Also, that's a big Thomas isn't here.
Oh, yeah, Tom,
He's taking double team every play.
Oh,
of course, we
absolutely.
do good, but Thomas, you don't notice it sometimes because he doesn't get the most tackles because he's just getting double teamed every play.
Trust me, he's pulling his weight.
Is a big part of the defense right there in the middle, and you know he's really good at what he does.
So
where's he at tonight?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. To be honest, I don't even know.
So, thank you. So tell us about what's the plan when you guys line up? Is it just all out, like get to the quarterback? I mean, what's going through your head?
Well, I know, like if it depends on the down, you know, first and 10, you know, usually expect and run, could be pass, but if it's not a pass situation, I'm just thinking blow the lineman off the ball, and if it's pass, you know, get in the pass stance and get back there.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, pretty much just. You can kind of tell by the offensive lineman if it's going to be a pass or a run most of the time. So it's a run.
Now, are you guys picking that up pre-snap?
Yes,
I mean, obviously they're in
sometimes
some of them
pre-snap. Some linemen will kind of, if they give it away, they might lean forward more on a run.
Yeah.
Or they might like in on a pass. You can tell they're kind of being back, or you can tell by like the down and distance. But yeah, most of the time, if you know it's a run, you're gonna like come up like they're coming at you. It's kind of easier. It helps out to know whether it's going to be a pass or a run.
So tell us about life in the trenches. I mean, is there what's some of the chats that are going on between snaps? I mean, you're getting up close and intimate with those guys for 4 quarters. I'm sure there's some do you know, especially with Covington coming up, you know these guys. Well, you grew up around them, probably played park ball with some of them. I know you are not high-fiving and patting each other on the backs. I mean,
maybe a little text on the side.
Yeah.
I know me and Thomas don't talk to him too much. I don't know what to say about him.
Oh, I know Hickey's over there talking. We can see him talking to his helmet.
So. I mean, I do like talking, but I mean, I know Coach Mick, just says, be quiet and let the defense do what y'all can do. Yep. So I mean, that's a big part, And he said that, last week I got a personal foul for, doing what I did at the 50-yard line. I said they got the ball, but I mean, you just got to be smarter. You can't let your emotions get the best of you. So.
Yeah.
I
you got to represent your school.
Yeah, exactly. I just think being quiet now. The few players that do like talking on the team, it's hard to be quiet because your emotions, you're just so glad or whatever. But I just think if you're beating their butt and you don't say a word and just smile back, they can't do anything about that.
Yeah. So I mean, when you go through those games and you're wearing those tackles out on the other side, I mean. They got to start. You know when you got them beat, right? When you're in their head, you know when it happens, right?
Well, in the Slide L game, we were beating them so much they started chop blocking us.
Oh yeah, we saw that.
We called that a few times. I'm like, well, I didn't see the flag a few times. Yeah. So you're going to face Covington tomorrow. Very heavy run-oriented team right now, especially. I know their backs are experienced. The quarterback he's a sophomore, so very run-oriented. How much? As a D lineman, do you kind of look forward? Okay, I know a team's going to try to establish the run. It's got to just get y'all all worked up, just going into the game, knowing that's going to happen.
I like a team that tries to run because we know how good we are against the run and what we can do. So, I mean, if they want to come out and run, we'll see how it goes.
And these
I think we'll do really good against it.
I think it's going to be important this Friday night to set the edge.
And these are backs too that want to get to the outside.
They want to get to the outside,
and they want to juke, and you can't go full steam. Yeah, I want to. Knock him off his feet. You just got to break down and, really just
get him. You got to stay backside because they like to
cut back.
Like last year, they like to run
all over the place.
Everywhere.
So
we were talking already, touched a little bit. I know the game 2 years ago, lightning delay. I know finished at like 12:30 in the morning. Last year was a game that was kind of a couple questionable calls on the field that were kind of tipped the point of the game. Yep. So I mean, going to this one, okay. I know Hickey been here for this your second year here. Aiden been here 4 years now, or 5 years probably. So going in, you're 1-2. How important is it to even up the series going into your senior year?
Well, I know since I've been here, this is my second year, but just how everyone in the program talks about how big of a game this is and what it means to everyone, you just kind of catch on and. You understand the meaning of the game and how important it is to the program and to the fans and just in general. It's our rival. We can walk there. So
yeah, literally. So tell me, Aiden, tell me some of your biggest memories from this rivalry between all 4 years, even if it's freshman or JV or anything.
Well, I just know how everybody else used to treat it. Like when I was a freshman, seeing how much the seniors would take this game, like how they would do it. So I kind of try to do what they did.
Okay. So, I know Coach Shear said process. He said it a couple times before. Yep. So I mean, keep that same process year after year after year after year, and like I said, it's ingrained in the younger kids. I mean, we kind of saw what the freshmen and JV were able to do the last yesterday. So I know the process is alive and well moving forward. So tomorrow. Can we get the same result? I'd like to see that. But, a W is the W. We take it any way we can get it.
I think it's very possible.
So,
and I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm sure Aiden is and the rest of the defense, on seeing because they've been running all over teams. So, and, no teams have run over us. So, it's going to be fun tomorrow night.
Yep.
So, it'll be a lot of fun.
Tell us a little bit about the school, your favorite parts. I mean, I know all your teammates and everybody always mentions the brotherhood.
What's your favorite class at St. Paul's, throughout all your years here, Aiden? My favorite class? Not sure. I know our religion class. I like religion classes because all our religious teachers are really good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I could say some of them, you wouldn't really know who they are, but most of them are really good people, and you can always go to them with whatever you need.
Yep. What are you planning on as far as college goes? What's your plans, Aiden? What are you planning on majoring in, and where do you think you're going to end up at?
My plans are probably, because I want to do engineering, so I'm probably going to end up at either LSU or UL.
Okay.
Those are the two places where I'm kind of deciding on what I want to do.
And Mr. Hickey, I know you, coast to coast, saw you at Oklahoma State the other day, McNeese. It's like I see the Twitter feed, and it's like, how's he at all these places in one weekend? It seems like you're all over the place.
Yeah, well, 2 weekends ago when me and my dad went to Oklahoma State on a visit, we actually slept in the car, drive, because we left. We got like 2 hours of sleep after the game. We woke up at 3. Our flight was for some ridiculous time. Then we got there. We went to Dallas, and then we drove into Stillwater. Yeah. It was like a 4-hour drive. And then after the game, and we drove back, my dad was like, well, there's no time to sleep, so we might as well so we pulled into a gas station and slept for an hour. So.
You got to do what you got to do, man. Right. I saw you at Alabama last week for the Ole Miss game. Roll Tide. That's got to be an awesome experience, being able to go to all these different campuses, no matter where it is, and just see the different facilities, see the different campuses. Very few people get to do that. So that's awesome that you get that opportunity and that chance, and you're taking full advantage of that and going out to see where you want to try to play ball in the future. So
yeah, I appreciate that. Definitely every day you got to remind yourself of how blessed you are. Because like you said, so few people get to do that. So.
Yep. So excited to see your letter of intent on signing day coming up.
Oh yeah.
So excited to see where you're going to end up. I'm hearing big things. I'm hearing several things. So not gonna put you on the spot there, but excited to see when you sign on signing day. So maybe we might possibly do a WPBN that day with all the kids signing. I know there's several players going to several different schools. So that's in the works. So excited to see that. Anything else you guys want to add? I know your focus is the brown jug and the brown jug only. I expect, if you get the brown jug, I expect pictures on Saturday morning of you guys eating pancakes and pouring syrup out of it.
I like that.
So,
all right.
So that's what I want to see, and you can tweet that out. So,
all right.
So, Mr. Hickey, pleasure.
Thank you.
Mr. Richards, keep up the good work. Exciting to watch you guys play. Look like you are having a blast out there. So keep doing it. Keep kicking ass and taking names, son. So both of y'all. So thank y'all very much. We'll be right back. WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network live coaches show at Walk-Ons. Thank you to Preston Hickey, Aiden Richards, 2 defensive linemen. We'll be right back after a few commercial breaks from In-N-Out and Walk-Ons, and we're going to sit down with Coach Kenny Sears III, the offensive mastermind for the St. Paul's Wolves and offensive coordinator, and we'll be right back in just a second.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Yeah, welcome back to the Walk-Ons Coaches Show with St. Paul's Wolves. We got our offensive coordinator with us tonight, and he's going to bring us up to speed. This is Coach Kenny Sears, the third, right?
That's correct. That's correct. I don't necessarily like the third always tagged on there.
Okay.
That's why I go by Chip.
It's just you can call me Kenny. That's
Coach
fine.
Kenny then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So glad to have you. So the brown jug. The brown jug. We've talked about it all night.
I'm sure, yeah.
And we want the brown jug.
Yeah, no, it's due time, and I think this group that we have this year is hungry for it, and had a great week of practice. They've done their job preparing, and all that's left to do is play the game tomorrow. So we're excited for it.
So good deal. So what do you? I mean, they're 11. Now there's some key players over there. What are you expecting to see tomorrow night?
They do a phenomenal job over there at Covington. Coach Salter, since he's taken over, I really think he's elevated that program to another level. His brother's a defensive coordinator. He does a phenomenal job. Last year we felt like we had a pretty good offense going into that game, and they kind of squandered everything we tried to do. I think that's in our heads too, knowing we went there last year and didn't perform the way that we thought that we could have. So I think that adds into it. But, we're expecting 11 guys to play real hard against us. They're going to be well coached. They're going to play hard. They're going to get after it. So we got to be ready to go.
So game plan tomorrow night is run the ball? Giving out a lot there. Come on, man. Well, Coach Sears alluded to it.
Nope, he's right.
He's like, we're going to do what we do best.
Yeah, and
Coach is putting in triple option just tomorrow.
Just for this game.
I'll tell you what. I think Coach is right with that. I think we've done a good job kind of building an identity, being able to run the football consistently, and that's never a bad thing. It helps out the passing game in the long run, but. I certainly think you could say we're a run-first team, and, I think that's always what we're going to be looking to do.
Right.
Yeah, I think we saw the ratio last week was, I think you said 50 runs, 10 passes.
Yeah, I think it was 50 to 10. I think that on the year right now we're 71-29, so 71% run, 29% pass. So
you wouldn't expect that, especially with coming in there, you have a 3-year starter at quarterback. So, it's nice to have that kind of commitment to the run.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it helps everything, the offense as a whole come together. But, the other thing that adds into it is Brody being out those first 4 games. I think we've kind of had to tailor a few things to the run game. Just having some younger guys at receiver, not that they're not capable. They've done a great job coming in and getting some experience, but
not having your big play guy that's a Division I receiver, that's a 4-year starter really, I think has probably affected the production in the pass game a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, we've noticed it from up top a few times. I mean, just young guys with experience and how to get open, what to do in certain situations, kind of recognize it a few times.
Right.
So it just comes with experience, unfortunately.
Right.
So, I mean, all right, you're a St. Paul's alum. What was your record as a player?
As a player, I believe we were 16-3.
Okay.
I started 19 games in my career. I believe I didn't start until week 4 of my junior year. But, yeah, we had a good run. Had a lot of good players I played with.
What about against Covington? What was your –
As a starter, I was 2-0 against Covington. And it was interesting. I was actually just talking to some of the seniors about that. In 2014, it was my junior year. And the year before, 2013, was actually the first time we had lost the jug since we won it for the first time in 2004.
Wow.
Which I think in 2004 we won it for the first time in 32 years. And then we won it for 10 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
Then my sophomore year, 2013, we lost at Covington. It was actually Coach Salter's first year as the head coach there. They made it to the semifinals that year and made a good run. And having that feeling, not having the jug, was really the first time we were all exposed to it.
Yeah.
And just, that mindset, hey, we got to go get it back.
It's got to be, a really good experience to share with the players.
Yeah.
I mean, I said the last time we had the jug, the seniors were freshmen.
Right.
So it's, especially a lot of younger guys, the junior, sophomore class, and especially freshmen, you've never experienced that feeling yet.
Exactly.
What's the background of the jug? Why is it the brown jug? I mean, this might be a 100-year-old story that nobody knows. I mean, do you know?
Well, I'll tell you what. There is an actual brown jug, right? And it's got all the. I have no idea what the significance or how that started.
Your dad said I think there's a new one now. They retired.
They retired the old one, and there's a new one that we use now. But we use a brown jug, and I'll be honest, I think one of the best things at the end of the year at that banquet is getting each player getting that mini brown jug, with the score on it.
I didn't know about that.
I was lucky enough to have a lot of those jugs, so
that's awesome. I didn't know y'all did that. See, we don't.
Yeah, so each player, each year at the end of the season, if we win it. So look, it's a great matchup, and all the things that come with it are just what you want for a rivalry game. They're a great, well-coached team, and it'll be a good matchup.
So kind of touching on it again, being a native of Covington, I know it kind of holds a special place, the rivalry with Covington High School.
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of these guys you grew up with, you played against, I'm sure. I mean, you've known these people. That'll be rooting for you, but yet really hard against you all day long.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that comes with the territory. I was lucky to play quarterback, and that's a position where you're under fire pretty consistently, and then you add on, I was the head coach's son, so. I feel like a
tough road.
Yeah, and I feel like I've gotten the chance to deal with, understand what playing with pressure feels like, and now on the other end of it, coaching it, there's no pressure. They're the ones out there playing. That's what I tell them all the time.
So you like
the fans are never yelling at the players.
That's it. Some people are wired differently. That's just how I am. My dad did a good job teaching me to block out the noise, and
smart.
But I know with the younger kids, it's always good to know that your coach is confident, he's ready to go, and while we're on that, I don't think any of this would be possible without the great coaching staff we got. Coach Stant, Coach Dominic Davenport, Coach Hawthorne. They all do a great job. So, it's a group effort, and they all do a real good job with their position. So.
Is Coach Hawthorne watching from home, being sick?
I don't know. That's a good question. I hope he is, man. I hope
get
he
better,
is.
big guy. See you tomorrow.
So, going into tomorrow night, I know we've talked about it 100 times already. Just the rivalry, and you said people rooting for us, outside the program and every other week except for this week coming up. I don't think anybody roots for St. Paul's outside of St. Paul's.
Right.
Like we're learning as we go places.
Really
I'm like, man.
They all hate us.
What? Yeah, I'm like, between the Daddy's money and all the other crap you hear from those, sounds like, what do we do to all these people?
I think it just comes with the territory. I think we do things right. I think our head coach has done a great job at building a program that people are envious of and want to be a part of, and You know, I think the hardest part is sustaining that success on a week-to-week basis, and just got to put the work in and practice hard and all that.
I don't remember what movie it's from, but Chip, you'll probably remember it. Barry, you might. They hate us because they ain't us.
What know that, but I know.
You're exactly right.
Was
they
it
hate us because they ain't
Pineapple
us.
Express?
I think it was
maybe?
Pineapple Express.
I think that's the interview.
Oh,
that
it
is
is.
the interview. That's a good
Exactly
James
right.
Franco.
Still South Road.
That is
Still South Road.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. They hate us because they ain't
Is
us.
that your genre?
Same, but different, but still same.
But still the same. Yeah.
So they hate us because they ain't us. So we'll wrap it up with that, Coach. I mean, appreciate everything.
Yeah, no doubt.
You guys allowing us to do this. It's fun. We want it to grow. You know, it's you don't like missing your kids' stuff. So WPBN, I was watching last night, JV freshman from a hotel in Houston. I know Chip was, where were you at?
Arkansas last week,
watching from his hotel. So, you know, parents help. We need, you know, all the help we can get is something no other school has, and it's.
I really think it's one of the best deals, and again, y'all do a phenomenal job. I think that y'all are so good, you know, commentating during the games, and I think it's a great chance for the kids to get up here and talk, and whether they say something goofy or not, it's such a good experience
for our
guys
and stuff like that. Grant's been in the booth a few times.
I actually listened to Kier last night.
He was awesome.
Yes.
He's calling out players. He's calling.
Oh yeah, he knows every one of them.
He's a natural.
Yeah, We're trying.
We were kind of the color around here.
Right.
Yeah.
Here was the play caller.
We're trying to bring him into the booth at halftime tomorrow, and instead of going to the locker room and help us out, and then go back out and play.
We got an extremely good group of kids this year,
kids.
and you know they show it every day in practice, and you know just hope they can put it together tomorrow night, you know, on the field. So we appreciate it.
Keep having fun. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck tomorrow
night. Thank you, as always, Mr. Barry.
So, like I told Hickey and I told Kier, and I'm going to tell Bilson, you know, when we get the brown jug back, I expect to see a team pitcher from Saturday morning eating pancakes and pouring syrup from the jug on.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So
absolutely, we'll have to make that happen.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
That was nice.
All right, live. We're coming back on that.
Are we here?
We are here.
Oh,
yes.
WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network, Walk-On's Coaches Show. Barry, or Grant, I'm sure you're scared now after. So right before we go live, Barry asked Grant if he has a girlfriend. I don't know why. What was the reason for that?
Just going to ask questions about it.
Okay.
You know, and I think that's what he thought was going to happen. He's like, hey, wait a minute.
I thought you were going to ask him out on a date.
I was kind of expecting that myself.
Oh, man,
Senior quarterback.
I was like,
that is not a football question.
I think I did.
You know, I spent time during the commercial break giving Grant kind of a rundown of what's going to happen. And then Barry asked him if he has a girlfriend right before we go live. His eyes got real big. And so everything we talked about, we're just going to throw it out, Grant.
Right. Sounds good.
But no, talking about the season, 3-1 on the year, 2-0, District 6-5A, getting ready for this big matchup against Covington, fighting for the brown jug. You know, Grant, came in, had an injury earlier in the season, and kind of worked back from it. I know you're looking better every week. I know you're probably 100% if not close to it. So what was it like as a senior? I'm sure your dad had the same thought. Your mom had the same thought. You go down, looks like maybe possible knee injury or something like that. What's going through your head at that moment?
At that moment, I'll be honest, I was a little freaked out.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was wrong. Just something kind of popped in my knee per se.
Yep.
And first thing I was just going through was just, I don't want to.
You don't want to end this.
This isn't how I wanted to end my senior season.
And I can't. And we all think that same thing. Obviously, for not just you, but for all these guys, especially as a senior, you worked your butt off, starter since a sophomore. Not only that, but we've talked about it. You guys as a team, it feels like you started working for this season back in March. I mean, it's like y'all have all been working hard for seems like forever now, and a lot of work put in. So
I know majority of the starters. We lost to Jesuit on a Sunday last year in the first round of the playoffs. Yep. That Tuesday, we were all back in the weight room, planning out our off season, planning out how much we're gonna work out, how much we're gonna go do extra stuff outside of just lifting weights, throwing, and we wanted to give our bodies a break for a few days, so we kind of worked back into it. But it was since Jesuit that we started looking forward to this season, looking forward to these games.
I commented to them. I commented to everybody I talk football about. People ask me about what do you think about this season from last season, and even Covington, friends of mine that have kids at Covington that you'll play against tomorrow night, asking me, how we're going to look this year. I said, look, so we got a lot of seniors coming back, and you can't work any harder than we're working. So in my head, you guys have one goal in mind, and it's cross the lake over there and working hard to get there. And I commend you, your coaching staff, all your players, and the senior quarterback and the leaders of this team. We see what you guys are doing. So I want to point that out to everybody watching it.
I had to live that. I had to bring Austin to St. Paul's all the time because, we're throwing the ball at St. Paul's at 10 a.m. Like, we have a big field right in front of our subdivision. Go to Pelican Park. I run all the way over. He's like, well, everybody's going to St. Paul's.
It's a big commitment for a lot of people.
Totally
parents, included.
Yeah.
And so, I know y'all did a lot of 7-on-7 this past summer. Is that new, or have y'all been doing that and installing that in the summer program?
Bit of everything. Our coach wanted to do more 7-on-7 than we usually do, and I think a lot of the players wanted to do because summer can get repetitive. It can get tiring just doing the same old thing. But to be able to go out and compete against someone else, against Franklinton in the Southeastern tournament, it just brought more energy, brought more motivation because it just showed how good and how exciting our offense can be and how good our defense can be against other teams.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of last weekend I heard some college coaches talking about the 7-on-7. And I know it, as long as I can remember, I remember hearing about 7-on-7, but, it's kind of come to the forefront. And a lot of the college coaches are talking about, the experience and the repetition and the abilities of these receivers and these quarterbacks coming out from just playing 7-on-7.
It's almost like travel baseball in that world where 7-on-7, I mean, it's a big deal. And, I mean, you're seeing it on TV now. Some of these guys' names from the high school level coming up, and it's pretty amazing. So I bet that's fun.
It was fun. It was a great experience because the last tournament I've been to was my sophomore year.
Yeah.
And we didn't do anything because of COVID last year and a bunch of other stuff. Be able to go out and just bond with everybody because we had some freshmen through seniors that came with us and be able to go out, see what it's like, experience tournament against other teams, and just to show how good and how show the potential we have it was fun. It was a fun experience.
I had not looked at it on that level. You just said that. It's just the competition. I mean, you're working hard with no competition, except your brother, and who's right next to you. But when you go down and you go into another field, and compete on another level, I can see where that would really build your abilities and your confidence and lots of things.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball because I mean, you look at some of these schools that you might run into a 2A school or a 3A school that you're never going to face them on a Friday night because they just don't have the numbers, right? And then you can take 3 of their studs and go into a 7-on-7 game or, their wide receiver and their quarterback, and you get to play against some kids probably you'll never get to play against on a Friday night and learn about them early, and I bet that's fun. So
it was a great experience. We got to go play So some teams that I've never even heard of, never even seen. Be able to go and see them compete against 5A schools, compete against other Catholic League schools. It was a great experience.
It's awesome. So, tell us your memories. I mean, the Brown Jug. We've talked about it with every coach so far and every player, and asked their thoughts on the Brown Jug. Even talking to Coach Kenny the third over the offensive coordinator as a player and as a coach. Just Kenny. I'm here for that. So, and he's listening over in the corner. He hadn't got to that part. He's on a delay, so he's listening to it now.
He'll smile when he gets
but his memories of the Brown Jug, I know you starting as a sophomore all the way up to your senior year now. You had the Lightning game your sophomore year. Last year was at the Cow Palace, and with pandemic and schedule, all that stuff going on. Some questionable calls over there, that didn't quite go our way, but good game offensively. What's your memories from the Brown Jug, so far?
So far, it's just been a lot of competition. We go out there, and Covington always plays us well, and it's always a great game to go out and play against them. And knowing most of those kids, playing ball with most of those kids from a young age all the way through, it was different experience. You don't really feel that with some other district games, which I think that's what makes this game so special. To make winning the Brown Jug so special. It's against your Covington friends. It's against people you grew up with. And it brings a lot of just winning the Brown Jug brings a lot of pride and a lot of kind of brings on that tradition of St. Paul's.
And I know you guys are working hard for that. That's one of your guys' goals, bringing that back home to St. Paul's. So super excited for Friday night. Anything you want to talk about, with your senior year and stuff you're looking forward to in the future? What are you doing for college? What are you going to major in? What are your thoughts there?
Right now I'm planning on majoring in kinesiology.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm going to see how football goes, see if I can go somewhere with that. If not, I'm going to, like I said, go major in kinesiology and do some type of sports medicine or physical therapy or something in that field.
A sports medicine grad here. It's worked out well.
So, Chip went to, 5 different high schools? 12 different high schools. So. The number grows every week.
It'll be 13 next week.
Yeah. So, Grant Bilson, senior quarterback, thank you. Enjoy watching you play, love watching you play. Leadership, energy on the field, all that, great leader, and we can see that. And glad to see you come back from that injury. It's, tough to watch that as a senior. Like you said, you're freaking out what's going through your head. I know your dad was thinking the same thing, watching it, and he's keeping his composure, but glad to see you work hard, get back, and I'm super excited that you're on the field again. So, so good luck tomorrow. Get your Brown Jug.
Thanks for the help in the booth yesterday. I really appreciate it.
And look, anytime you're welcome up there. Just come on.
You did a great job between you and Kier. And now Danny wants in as well. So we kind of started a little
Danny
here.
wants up there too?
Yes.
We don't have to work on Wednesdays.
That's exactly my thought.
We can set up and
sit
go.
back. I'll set up, sit back there.
Let the three of us take over.
You got it.
I'm perfectly fine with that. Sold.
Write that down and make him sign something. So WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network, Walk-Ons Coaches Show. Thank you to Walk-Ons and In-N-Out Urgent Care, official Coaches Show sponsor of the Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Senior quarterback Grant Bilson. Looking to take the Brown Jug home tomorrow night. Big matchup versus Covington over at Hunter Stadium. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Pre-game show out with the tailgaters will start about 6 o'clock. Those guys, they start getting ready around 2:30 or 3, going to chapel, taping up, pre-game meal, the hokey pokey, everything else they're doing in there. And looking forward to tomorrow night. So thank you, Grant. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. And our last segment of the night, special guest,
Starry Dances,
Coach Mike Stant.
He's
going to help us close out.
Long.
Him and Coach Roboto are going to join us. So
9 o'clock now. I'm looking at about 11:30 close.
I got to tweet out. Coach Stant's going to get on. So he's a favorite from the baseball season. A lot of personality.
Lots of personality.
It's kind of like Seinfeld. It's going to be a show about nothing coming up. So we'll be right back after this commercial break and wrap it up here at Walk-Ons.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
In-N-Out Urgent Care, a proud supporter of the Wolves, is open 7 days a week in Covington across from Coquille Park and in Mandeville on Highway 59. In-N-Out Urgent Care offers rapid COVID testing, a mobile care van for events, flu and strep tests, physicals, x-rays, lab services, treatment for general illnesses, and more. Walk in or check in online and meet our friendly professional staff that treats you like family. In-N-Out Urgent Care, caring for ages 2 and up. Feel better faster. And go Wolves.
And we're back live, WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Mike Arnold, Chip South, Barry Strickland. Whole slew of guests tonight on the Walk On Coaches Show.
This has been a busy one.
The last segment of the night, we kind of hyped it up while we were talking to quarterback Grant Bilson, saving the best for last. So we got Coach Roboto on the special teams and Coach Mike Stan, offensive line coach, that, excited to have you guys on the Coaches Show.
We're excited to be here, Coach.
We were asked
excited to be here
12 times last night during the freshman JV game. We were expected to have special guests tonight.
Yeah. So we had Ryan Schimpf for baseball last time.
Right.
And we got Mike Stanton, Coach Roboto.
Same thing. Ryan Schimpf, Mike Stanton. Yeah.
Exactly. Same sentence. Y'all two, right?
Now for Schimpf, we had some highlights of him in the MLB. I think I had a home run against the Phillies. I had another one against the Rockies. We talked about a backhand play he had against DJ LeMahieu. So we got some highlights from your days of playing.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
No, I'm joking with you. We don't have anything.
I would love to see that.
But if you get us some, we will play them. So
I guarantee we will.
Yeah, those are all on 16 millimeters. So that's dead.
Oh yeah, like the Sabruta film.
That's right.
Yeah.
You'd have to scotch tape it back.
Yeah. So, Coach Roboto, special teams, tell us, I know you're new here at St. Paul's. Chip's from, I guess, the South Shore area. He went to a few different high schools. I'm up by Zachary, so I don't know your past. He knows you've been at some other schools before, kind of knew your name. Tell us about where you came from, what your plans are on the special team side of the ball.
Well, this is my first year. It's been great. I thank Coach Sears for being part of this and working with guys like Coach Stan over here. I'm coming over from Mandeville High.
Yep.
I was the defensive coordinator there for 3 years. Previous to that, I was the head football coach at Holy Cross High School in New Orleans.
Yep.
Worked at Rommel High School before then, and I actually started my career at Ridgewood Prep, a AA high school in Metairie. So been around. I really got to thank Coach Sears Jr. a whole lot for, him and I talked a little bit about coming over, and just think it's been a good fit, and just we need to continue the process of getting better in special teams. I know Coach Francis did a heck of a job for a long time here, so coming over is big shoes to fill, but we're getting better. We just need to continue the process of developing some guys and, seeing if these coverage units and return teams can improve, especially as we get close to the playoffs.
Yeah, so just real quick, I know you coming from Mandeville to St. Paul's. You still have that somewhat rivalry with Covington, being Mandeville and Covington.
Right.
I mean, just being here, just as 1 week of practice, not really no game experience yet with St. Paul's Covington rivalry. Have you seen any kind of similarity between the kind of, I guess you say, the enthusiasm going into the game, the preparation for the game, I guess the banter going back and forth between everybody else?
Yeah, you definitely can feel it this week. I mean, coming from the same town, Covington, I almost get the feeling just talking to other people like the whole town's going to shut down.
Absolutely.
And
it will. Just wait to see the stands.
Right.
Yeah.
Every school I've been at, there was always that rival. And actually, Coach Stanton and I were talking about this before. Just it's funny you mentioned it. Just every time you go to a new school, trying to find out the rival and what this game means. And every game's important, and that's what we've been trying to tell the guys this week. Covington's coming in, but you got to bring your A game every week. We tell them all the time, this is the most important game because it's the next game.
Absolutely.
And we have to remember that it's about execution. It's about all those things. We can't get caught up in the rivalry.
Emotions.
It's important. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a shortchanging. This is, and I know a bunch of coaches over there. I've coached against them. Coach Salter does a heck of a job. Defensive coordinator, Glenn Salter, they do a heck of a job. They're always on the ball with that. So we have to execute and just remember, don't get caught up in the fans and all that stuff. It's about the X's and O's and making plays. On offense, we got to block. Defense, we got to tackle. Special teams, we got to change field position and do it the right way.
Coach Stan kind of touched on that. Who's Brother Martin's rival? Just out of curiosity.
Probably Jesuit.
That's Holy Cross's rival. Come on, you can't take that one.
Seems like every week's a rivalry anywhere around here. So
nobody likes anybody.
We
were talking about that.
All three of us from the Catholic League.
With Coach Sears, I was like, man, he said something about people rooting for Covington, on the other weeks, and people rooting for us on the other weeks. I was like, I don't think anybody's rooting for us but us. I mean, just the signs. Hammond game last week, man, they were ruthless.
We were on the visitor side, on the home side last week, and just what you hear in the stands, kind of like Mandeville last year. We were on the home side last year broadcasting, and some of the things that we heard, like this is a rival here. Yeah. This is for real.
Well, and then there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. No, it's great. I love it.
We just continued the process.
So, well, look, we're glad to have you here. Your first year at St. Paul's. Coach Sears spoke highly of you before we even knew who you were. He at one of the booster meetings.
It was like
I got out and I called him, and because he said, I'm not going to tell you who I'm hiring. I'm bringing somebody in. I've been trying to hire this guy for 10 years. He said, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm not even going to tell you who it is before he's here.
Coach Sears, believe it or not, it was right after Katrina. I think it was one of the first times. It just never worked out. And, I always wanted to be at St. Paul's for a very long time. My son's a freshman, so it's been a great fit being able to be a dad. And also,
I got out the meeting and I called Chip. I was like, I don't know who we're bringing in, but he's big time.
No, I'm not big time.
But we're glad
you're big time.
So,
no, I'm not. It's been fun. The guy next to me is big time.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what we're getting to him. We're getting to him. So, a great segue into big time right here.
Yeah, right.
Coach Mike Stant, offensive line
He's
coach.
A legend.
In my own mind.
So, Coach, we'll actually talk football with you for a minute before we get on to other topics. But against Hammond last week, your offensive line, I mean, the right side just blowing people up. No block and Thieler being able to get around that right edge and with Hayes and those guys on the right side. I mean, your running game's improving every week. I mean, I know that's the big part of our offense right now is establishing that run. And, what do you think about your line? How's it working? And you're improving every week.
Well, we're playing a lot more physical than we were in the past 3 weeks. We're fitting real well, and we're big. I mean, they're big guys. Hayes is playing really well, and Ryan Blanche is playing really well. But Dylan Buckle at center has come really on.
Yes.
Guzan's playing really well, and Andrew Wiener's playing really well. Plus, we got
Dominic
Livicari and Caden is. So we're going to roll those 7 guys in. Try to find some matchups that we really like. Like you're saying in the Hammond game, we found some matchups on the right side that we really liked, and Coach was able to drill them with the sweep and then the outside zone, which we're running really well. Plus, our guys are taking a lot of pride, and we talk about if we're going to win, it's going to start right here. We've got to go out there and be really physical, and tomorrow night's not going to be any exception. But on the offensive line, we're playing really, really well on all 3 levels. I think we have 3 lines that are really improving every week. They're really pushing each other, and and it all starts with the 3 seniors we have. Hayes, who all of a sudden it's become such a hot commodity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, people
you
just
get to
really
6'7",
love him.
it's,
and he's a 6'7". He's really got good feet.
You don't teach that.
He's looking better every week.
He comes off the ball really hard, and his pass protection has been real. I think that might have been the difference in the game last week, that we were able to run the ball, and then the pass, we gave Grant enough time. That's going to be that's going to be one of the keys tomorrow night, because I really think that that Covington doesn't think they're going to be able to sit in base and just stop us. So they're going to have to come get us. They're going to come off the edge. They're going to come through the middle. And that's what we really had thought was going to happen against Hammond. We really thought that they would blitz more, and they blitzed early, and we picked it up, and then they quit.
Yep.
So that's the key. If you're looking for something, when the two linebackers blitz, if we pick them up early, then they'll stop doing it.
Yep. Well, what are you seeing in the defensive line for Covington? I know Jamonte's at nose tackle.
Yeah, and he's very big. He's very big.
That kid, we coached him. Me and Barry coached him at CRD for 3 years, and along with a lot of those
very
kids on
big
team.
and very strong.
He is he's an animal. He is. I mean, the kid is wide and he is strong, and his legs are this long.
Well,
so you can't get lower than him.
Not taking anything away from him at all.
Yeah.
But we really pride ourselves on that we don't play anybody who's not really good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about this, when you start off at the beginning of the year, we played Curtis, then we played Romo, then we played Catholic Iberia, we played Zachary. But Hammond's defensive line was very good. Yeah. So I mean, throughout the year,
they were stout.
it's not like this is going to be the first time that we see guys with size and speed.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, the key is that not to give a whole bunch away, but he's going to have to deal with two people, especially.
Don't give away the game plan.
No, you're good.
We've gone through this a few times tonight.
They have 3 or 4 different fronts they're going to give us. They're going to line up in straight 50. They're going to line up in 40. They're going to line up what we call the bear front. Yeah. And if you notice in the games in the past, Slidell, Catholic New Iberia, they all go to this front now where they just cover all the linemen.
Yeah.
Which it kind of hinders our gap blocking and our combo blocking scheme. But we're so big now that if you notice, when they do that, we go to ISO block and stuff. Yeah. So now we're man up, and then we put Piazza, who's gigantic, on the Mike linebacker, and then all of a sudden you see a no block and Thieler run for 10, 15 yards in the middle. That's because we've spread them out, and we're turning guys out of the middle and using the ISO, or we'll pull the backside guard and put it on. So the whole thing it comes down to this, like I told him in the meeting after. We're going to have to go out and just be as physical as possible.
Yeah.
And if we're physical, if we play on their side of the line, if we punch in pass protection, I think we should be good.
That game's going to be, you're going to get every second worth tomorrow from both sides of the ball. It's going to be a fight
trust
from
me
the first
when I
game.
tell you, I started playing against those guys in 1981. We would cross the lake for the fall scrimmage, and it was unlike anything you've ever seen in your life. The 8th graders would be playing in a parking lot. The 9th graders would be playing over here, and then the JV would play over here, and then the varsity would play in the stadium.
Yeah.
So at Brother Martin, if you made it to the stadium, you'd arrived.
Oh, yeah.
So it took me like 4 years to make it to the stadium. That's right. It's
You're
exactly
standing
like
out
the
there
Coliseum.
watching the gladiators go
and I'm
in.
just telling you, I can't tell you how many. We'd get on the bus to go back home, and so many guys would be, they'd be getting stitches, or the nose would get blood.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think they had referees back then. They just went at it.
Coaches just did it. Yeah. So pretty much, being an offensive lineman from high school through college at Nicholls State, how nice was it last week? You see a run-to-pass ratio, 50 runs, 10 passes.
Plays.
As a person, you kind of talk about having a road-grading offensive line, a very smart offensive line. That had to be, as an offensive line coach, I think, and especially the results y'all had, that had to make you the happiest person in the world.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best games offensively that we've had in a while, and I think it's just clicking on all cylinders. And I think we're getting more and more people involved, and the wide receiver wingback blocking was fantastic last week.
Yep.
I think that if we run the football, we win the game. That's the bottom line.
You see, Mike, he actually referred to a wingback. Getting back on the thing earlier today.
All that stuff. I got one more question for you, Coach Roboto, and it seems like nobody wants to kick it to Washington. Obviously, You got Dufour on the other side. He gets one every once in a while. Kier Nunez seems like he gets every ball called on the kickoffs. Do you, as I'm a baseball guy.
Right.
So going into football, can you sneak Washington or Dufour into that second line? And,
we can. It's one of those things. Do you take the field position?
Yeah. Because you're not even advancing, even if whoever's there.
It's one of those things too. Nobody likes to kick to anybody anymore.
Yeah.
And I understand it. I mean, you watch the NFL, you watch college. If either kick it out the end zone or we're not kicking it to.
Yeah.
If we can get the ball at, like, if they're sky kicking and we can get the ball at the 30-yard line, we take that probably every day of the week.
Yeah.
The problem is, even if we scoot Daniel Dufour up and Justin up, it would you're still in the same problem of they'll be in your face very quickly with the sky kick.
Makes sense.
I think tomorrow night their kicker can get the ball deep, especially on punts. So hopefully we have some opportunities for that. But we work our butts off on return, and hopefully for one day we can execute.
So from a don't give away your game plan, but I mean if you got on the other side of the special teams kicking the ball, you got two guys back there like Dufour and Washington. Do you try to avoid them? If you got a kicker that can kick it through the back, do you take that chance to do that?
I think we have. It's one of those things. Don't give up anything cheap. The special teams, in the history of St. Paul's has been win special teams, and we were trying to do that. At the same point, you don't want to give the other side of the ball. Covington's got some great returners back there. You just don't want to give anything
That's
cheap.
where I'm.
Yeah. So we have some different things we're going to try and see if it falls into play.
So play of the year so far, one of the plays of the year so far. Chip don't even know where I'm going. He's nodding. He has no clue.
I was just looking at
I just thought
eyes.
about this 30 seconds ago. So this is swinging. So I don't even remember if it was Catholic New Iberia or Slidell, but the fake punt with Piazza running in own territory.
Did he call it himself?
Yeah. Do you take 100% credit for that? Is that Stant that called that?
Coach Stant called that whole thing.
Because I've heard four stories. So everything from Sears called it to Piazza called his own number because he saw something to nobody even know it was coming.
Let's just go with Sears called it.
Right, there you go.
The head coach called it. It worked. It was a brilliant call.
It worked, so it's the head coach.
Yep. That's the right answer, Coach.
Brilliant call.
But look, we were up there calling and we're like, man, that's ball. That's ball.
I saw that as soon as it happened. Like, wow,
that was pretty.
That was an official. Whoa, Nelly.
Don't keep
as a coach and you're on the sideline, and this doesn't give away anything, but in that moment, I mean, do y'all know if somebody didn't call it or did call it, or do y'all just
you probably saw it just like we did. Oh man! Great call, Whoever made that,
I was
great
about
call.
to jump out the press
but
box
you
right
can't
there.
go to commercial break and take your headset and go.
Right.
That was just like I don't know if you noticed in the game Friday, where Bilson fakes the ball.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
And he turns and runs to a gigantic.
Oh yeah.
I called it. I'm like, that was a broken play.
That was a busted play. And Little Kenny looked at me and said, "What just happened there?" And I said, "That was a great call, Coach. Great call. Great call."
Like the Red Sea parted.
It was
like
beautiful.
Martin even through the hole. I was like, wow, with his leg, they're going to run him up the middle, and he runs it 25 yards.
Little Kenny looked at that. I said, "That was a great call. I didn't even know we had that."
Roll with it. Put it in the next play.
So, coaches, appreciate everything.
Thank you, Coach.
Nice meeting you, Coach Roboto. Look forward, bringing the brown jug home, and I've told every coach up here so far and every player that's been up here, if we get it back, I expect to see pancake breakfast Saturday with pouring syrup out of it and on Twitter or something. So,
amen.
Pump the rivalry up. Good luck Friday. I see Coach Mick.
Is he beautiful?
He's on.
Is he beautiful?
You see his toenails, right? They're red.
They're not as nice as mine.
What color are yours?
I'm not going to say, but they're not as nice as mine.
Oh, that's Coach Mick's call on the fake punt?
Yeah.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? Brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great football mind there.
And Coach Stant gets around. I see him in Baton Rouge now.
I see him
all over. I'm at the LSU game
that
trying to
Saints
leave. He
games?
pops up.
I like to live his life.
I know, me too.
I'm looking.
How many literally, the over and under is 5. How many vacations did you go on this summer?
20.
At least.
20.
Yeah.
I want your life.
So every like, where you going? Well, I got to go to Acapulco this week and Miami next week. I'm calling a tournament.
I'm calling one baseball game.
And then I'm going to snow skiing.
I never got on a plane though. I never got on a plane. It's all driving.
But he had fun this summer. So
yes.
New fiance.
That's right.
So
new fiance.
Congratulations.
Yep, so
thank
congratulations.
You.
Anything else new, or we wrap this thing
That's
up?
That's it, baby. That's it.
All right.
Go Wolves. Go Wolves.
You've been watching the Stant Roboto show live on WPBN. So thank you, Coach Roboto. Thank you, Coach Stant. Wolfpack Broadcast Network, Walk-On's Coaches Show. Wrapping it up, you've heard from all the coordinators. You've heard from all the coaches, some of the senior players. They're all in. So we've talked about it all year, Chip. Brown Jug tomorrow night live at Hunter Stadium. Big game. They're all big, but this one has a little bit of feel to it.
There's a lot of gravity to it. Especially with our conversations with people we're friends with.
Yep. And, there's a lot of schools around, but these two schools, premier local athletes.
Absolutely.
You're going to see sophomore quarterback Brandon Coakley on the Covington side of the ball. Excited to see that kid this year, next year, senior year. He's fought hard, won that battle to get that starting job as a quarterback for Covington, and deserves it outright. So you also got Bryce Blackwell on the other side of the ball at linebacker, exciting player there. You got Jay Chapman, running back. You got a few other kids. But, and then we've interviewed and talked about all the guys we have on our side of the ball. Special group of kids, 23 seniors, their last Brown Jug opportunity.
We got 1-3, a 2-2.
Yep. So bring it home tomorrow night, boys, and that's going to be a wrap. WPBN Wolfpack Broadcast Network. Mike Arnold, Chip South, Barry Strickland went and got an Old Hickory burger.
Yeah, he did. He took off on us.
We probably won't see him.
He's home already.
Yep. So this Walk-Ons Coach's Show brought to you by Walk-Ons, obviously, and In-N-Out Urgent Care, and also Rolaids after all that food. So thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow night live, Hunter Stadium, WPBN, Wolfpack Broadcast Network.